My name is Infinity.
Greetings, I'm Rob Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
And welcome to a review of the world's thinnest ever guitars.
They're pretty thin, aren't they?
It's
These
thinner
are...
than a dinner plate.
In fact, this is kind of like almost like an axe, isn't it? So this is Ibanez S-Series, and these are actually a couple of little spot run things. What do we mean when we say spot run?
We mean they're made by Spot, the friendly Ibanez warehouse dog.
It basically means that what happens is you've got a whole lineup of guitars that Ibanez are going to make all year round, and then periodically someone at Ibanez goes, "Oh, I think this colour would look good," or something along those lines. And then they kind of go, "Well, we won't make loads of them, though. We'll just do a spot run, just offer it out to a couple of guitar stores."
I get you.
And that's what happens. So this is what these are. So this is an S670. This is an S671.
Both with elf doors.
Both with elf doors. As you've probably spotted, the only difference really between these two is the colour and the fact that I've got a whammy woo-wah and Rob's is fixed bridge.
What's with the vinyl-looking pole pieces on the Infinity 100?
Oh, yeah. They are. Well, I think the idea is if you've got like an old record player and you just put it on like that and you start turning, and you have to turn the guitar on like this.
Right, let's show them with Gandhi Cam.
My name is Infinity.
Oh look, there you go.
I suspect that is just a little detail that means nothing, but it looks nice, doesn't it?
How can it mean nothing, Lee?
So these are 24 fret, skinny neck guitars. So you guys who love to do your shreddy stuff are going to be well at home here. Maple necks, rosewood board. Quite like the dots just down the top side of the board here. I've got a locking nut.
Yeah, you said skinny neck, but yeah, really skinny neck. But the skinniest part ever is this body. What's
yeah, the
that
body's
about?
Skinny. Mind my eye as you just gouged it out with the end of your...
It looks like if you were to throw it, it would fly.
Let's not try that.
Okay.
So, what else can we tell you about these? They're made in Indonesia, where I hear the weather is fantastic at the moment.
Okay. Indonesia, home of satay sauce.
Really?
They introduced it to Holland, and the Dutch love that stuff, and they have it all the time.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
This has got one of Ibanez's... I quite like Ibanez because unlike all the other brands that might put a whammy woo-wah on a guitar, they go, "Oh, we don't really want to use a Floyd Rose. We're going to try and do our own thing." So all the Ibanez, or most of Ibanez guitars, I think all. I'm trying to think of an Ibanez guitar with a Floyd on it. I can't think of one.
I can't think of one.
No, so I think they all have their kind of versions of them. And
That's the sound of the internet telling us there are many
there is
with
one,
Floyders,
yes.
yeah.
What I rather like about the Ibanez one is that it has a slightly lower profile than a Floyd, so you are slightly more at home with the sort of palm nearer the trem system, which on a lot of Floyd guitars you've got to sort of stay clear.
It's a lower profile? I would dispute that.
I think
personally,
it's a lower profile.
I think you can make a Floyd mega low. You can. It's all about where the strings come out of, isn't it? I think you can make a Floyd that low. You can wind it down.
This particular one doesn't have that sort of zero thing in the back that always means it goes back to where it was. This is a sort of a more budget version.
I do like the carving. They've carved that nice.
It's
back
nice,
and
isn't
front.
it? Yeah, I like it. You can get this guitar in that colour, but I believe you can only get this guitar in that colour.
I like this guitar because it's made by Ibanez, and Joe Satriani plays Ibanez. When you know you've got too much to learn. Now the only problem with
You're whittling, aren't you?
Just for fun.
Okay.
The only problem, I'm doing it to experiment with something.
Yes.
I really find it difficult to play with this middle pickup.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I pick.
Yeah.
With that pickup for me would have to be lowered right down.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of
downage.
It's because it's not into a pick guard. It's straight into the body. It doesn't feel like there's a lot to go
So
on
you know,
there.
sometimes we get told off because we only make positive reviews.
You're going to point out something negative.
I'm going to point out something negative, which is that this really gets in my way, and in fact, it means I can't hybrid pick or really effectively pick. I mean, I don't know if I can. It gets right in the way.
Marginally speaking, it wouldn't affect me because my natural picking position is actually slightly forward of that. So actually, just coincidentally,
It's
I'm sort of
ideal
picking
for Captain Lee.
either in the gap or even just over the humbucker. So I wouldn't get too put off by
Well,
that.
maybe Ibanez is your brand then, Lee.
Well, perhaps so. Certainly, I like the chaps that come round from Ibanez every year.
Yes, I love Ibanez. I just think it's good to point out things that sometimes aren't.
Now,
You know.
I tell you what, though. I tell you what. Now, I know how much these are. Rob doesn't. What would you consider a fair price for?
Well, that's a good way of putting
guitar?
it. And people also recently said that they missed the marks out of 10, so I'm bringing it
Yeah,
back.
we should. Well, and tell you what. Before I tell you, and before you sneak off and look up the Andertons website, why don't you just guess post? I've got to say, that's the best we've had that amp sounding ever since it's been in this room.
Okay, well, I think, bearing in mind that it's pretty well made, Indonesian, Ibanez, it's definitely from the affordable range, but it's pretty kitted out. I'm going to say it's roughly $399.
Well, that's not a bad guess there, Mr. C. What did you guess? Because it's actually $349. But having said that, though, of course, if you would like it spec'd with the Tremolo, Whammy Woo-Ha, this actually adds a bit more money on it. So this one's about $440. So you kind of dive right in the middle of what the two guitars
And
were.
I guess what's the opposition at like 400 quid for something with a tremolo on it?
Number one.
Any
don't know,
other
it's like-
brand?
I mean, everybody-
Any other brand that competes with
Well,
that?
I mean, the S series is quite unique, isn't it? Because I don't know. I mean, if you look at sort of ESP, don't really have a ESP. Would you be looking at a Horizon, which is a different sort of shape to that? I
guess this is a
think
gateway
Jackson-
drug. It's a gateway drug, this, because you get one of these, you fall in love with Ibanez, then they've got you. That's what this is. It's a guitar gateway drug.
I just think they look pretty. I kind of quite like where Ibanez sit. They kind of go, we make guitars for guys that want to play fast and sort of shreddy kind of stuff, but they kind of just sort of step back from that real death kind of like, you know, gotta be like the baddest looking, blackest, pointiest guitar. They kind of do these sort of slightly prettier sort of, you know,
friendlier.
So there we are.
There you
Anyway,
go. That was quick
so
and easy.
these are called, I'll put a link to where you can find these on the Andertons website below, but it's the S670QM. What does QM stand for?
Quilted maple.
Oh, I was going to try and something rude, but anyway, let's not.
Well-
And the S671, which doesn't make any sense at all. So the one with the higher number is the cheaper one. Anyway,
Catchy names.
Who thought of that? Yeah,
I've definitely been Rob Chapman.
and I've probably been the
Infinity.
Bye.